What is a Caucasoid race? Can dark-skinned people be part of the Caucasoid race? What skull shapes do Caucasoids possess? What are the facial features of the Caucasoids? What group of people can be classified as Caucasoids? Hey guys, welcome to Understanding Humans, and in this video we are going to learn everything about the disturbing facts of the Caucasoid race. So, watch till the end to find out if you, dear viewer, belong to the Caucasoid race. They were deemed as the founders of civilization, the innovators, the explorers who mapped the ends of the earth. But these quote-unquote Caucasians were more than simply white-skinned Europeans. They incorporated a vast array of people stretching from coastal islands of West Africa to the steppes of Central Asia, a diverse population that shaped world history in immeasurable ways. Despite some of their background of conquest and subjugation of themselves and other races, the legacy of this group, designated as quote-unquote Caucasoid, still resonates globally today through every facet of modern life. Their empires may have fallen, but languages such as English, Arabic, and Spanish is now spoken on every continent. And demographic ideals and technologies still emerging from their ancestors continue influencing billions. Yet behind all this encompassing term lies a more complex truth, that these people never compromised a singular ethnic group but are not fully genetically or ethnically related but partially. But it is a major race in the classification of racial taxonomy. But for centuries obscured in the mist of time, modern science is now illuminating their interweaving genetic mosaic pieced together through the dramas of ancient migration, invasion, and contact across 3 continents. And in this video, we are going to learn what group of people can be labeled under the banner of the Caucasoid race and other interesting details. So subscribe, like, and comment to make my effort making this video worth it and the YouTube algorithm happy. So let's begin. The term Caucasoid originated from 18th century anthropologist Johann Friedrich Blumenbach, who classified humans into 5 races, and one including the Caucasians, linked to Europe, West Asia, North Africa, and Southwest Asia. Blumenbach traced Caucasians to the Caucasus region, which is modern-day Armenia on Mount Ararat, where he believed Prophet Noah, peace be upon him, landed with his ark there. And thus the name Caucasians came into place, although he rejected rigid categorization and argued that all human beings belong to the same species. But over time, Caucasian became synonymous with white people. And through Blumenbach emphasizing skin color was not the sole determination of race. And by the 20th century, the scientific concept of discrete biological races was rejected due to modern genetics showing humans are one interbreeding species. However, terms like Caucasian persisted colloquially in America, as some felt more comfortable with Caucasian rather than white alone. So, the term comes from the belief that this group originated in the Caucasus region located between the Black Sea and the Caspian Sea. However, modern understanding of human evolution shows that there was never a single point of origin for humans, in which I think only religious texts can make sense on what science cannot explain. So, what are the physical traits associated with the Caucasoid race? The Caucasoid race include a variety of skin pigmentation from very light skin to medium to dark. Hair color usually dark brown to light brown to blonde to ginger, and its texture varies from person to person. And they have non-prominent facial features. But there is considerable diversity within this group. And the main population considered to be part of the Caucasoid race include most indigenous Europeans, North Africans, West Asians, and Central Asian Iranics, and Northwest Indians and Pakistanis. And those who are considered to be partial Caucasoid, in which this means that the group who had Australoid or Vedoid admixtures such as the Dravidians of southern India and Sri Lanka, and the Eastern Indics of northeastern India and Bangladesh. And also those who had Proto-Nilotic admixture including the Kushites, both Cushitic speaking like the Somalis, or Kushites who are genetically like the Northern Sudanese and Amhara and Tigrayans. And groups within this region reflects enormous genetic, cultural, and phenotypic diversity. So, let's dive into the cranial forensic anthropology of the Caucasoid race. So, the Caucasoid skull often exhibits a facial profile that is relatively orthognathic, which means that it has a vertical or less projecting face compared to other populations. The nasal bones can be long and narrow, and the nose may have a prominent bridge in which produce the aquiline nose. And their cranial vault, or the skull cap of Caucasoid individuals, is typically described as dolichocephalic, meaning it is longer from front to back than it is wide. However, it is important to note that there is significant variation in cranial shape within populations classified as Caucasoid, and Caucasoid skulls generally have less pronounced brow bridge compared to other human populations, such as those traditionally classified as Australoids. Caucasoid populations often exhibit certain dental traits, such as a high frequency of shovel-shaped incisors, where the back sides of the front tooth is scooped out. However, modern genetics shows that there is more variation within populations than between them, and all humans share over 99.9% of our DNA, and the concept of discrete biological races is now rejected. While people from these regions have some shared ancient ancestry, their genetic makeup is now more complex due to migration and mixing over thousands of years. And the ethnic similarities and differences is shown in this ethno-racial map of the Caucasoid race. And the map looks like this. Europe, divided by the Celts indigenous to the British Isles, the Germanics, indigenous to North and Central Europe, the Italics, indigenous to Southern Europe, and the Slavs, indigenous to Eastern Europe, followed by North Africa, divided by the Berbers, indigenous to the Maghreb, Arab Egyptians, indigenous to Egypt, and North African Arabs who have Arab and Berber ancestry, and followed by the Middle East or West Asia, divided by the Arabian Arabs, indigenous to the Arabian Gulf, Levantine Arabs, indigenous to the Levant, South Semitics, indigenous to southeast provinces of Yemen and southwest provinces of Oman, Mesopotamian Arabs, indigenous to Iraq, Assyrians and Mizrahi Jews, indigenous to the Levant and Iraq, Iranics, indigenous to Kurdistan and Iran, and Turkish people, indigenous to Anatolia and Azerbaijan. And Central Asia is dominated by Iranic groups such as the Tajiks and the Afghans, and followed by South Asia, dominated by Indics, Dravidians, and Dardic population, indigenous to the Indian subcontinent, and followed by East Africa, which has Cushitic people and those non-Cushitic speakers but have full Cushitic ancestry, such as Sudanese Arabs, Amharics, and Tigrayans. Although this concept originated in the 18th century and was later propagated within the ideas of scientific racism to classify supposedly distinct human races, but it is now recognized that there is more genetic diversity within quote-unquote races than between them. But the thing is, this grouping is good and it acknowledges the similarities and diversity of our species. But the hierarchy is wrong and it has to go, because all human beings, regardless of race, are equal. And that's it for today's video. If you enjoyed this exploration, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more exciting content. Thank you for watching, and until next time, stay curious.